The bedroom door closes quietly as David, a 38-year-old project manager from Austin, Texas, stares at the ceiling in frustration. It's 2:34 in the morning, and he's just experienced what has become an increasingly familiar disappointment. His wife has already turned away, and the silence between them feels heavier than it should. This isn't about passion or attraction, it's about something deeper, something physiological that David never expected would become a barrier in his marriage. He's not alone. Across America, millions of men face this exact scenario night after night. The problem isn't discussed openly at dinner tables or in casual conversation, yet it affects relationships, self-esteem, and the quality of intimate life for countless individuals. The issue is simple but devastating: the inability to maintain erection after ejaculation. For most men, this creates a psychological spiral. Anxiety builds, performance anxiety intensifies, and what should be a natural function becomes a source of shame and frustration. What makes this particularly maddening is that mainstream solutions have failed. Pharmaceutical interventions come with side effects, cost hundreds of dollars monthly, and don't address the root cause. Sex therapists offer advice that feels disconnected from biological reality. The fitness industry promises that more exercise will solve everything, yet dedicated gym-goers still face the same problem. There's a massive gap between what men expect from their bodies and what their bodies are actually delivering, and nobody seems to have a real answer. The truth that remains hidden is this: the problem isn't psychological weakness or declining testosterone alone. It's vascular insufficiency masked by modern medicine's obsession with pharmaceutical solutions. The body's ability to maintain erection depends entirely on blood flow, oxygen saturation in erectile tissue, and the nutritional capacity to sustain vasodilation. When these elements fail, no amount of willpower or confidence can compensate. David began researching at 3 in the morning, scrolling through forums and scientific abstracts. He discovered something that seemed too simple to be true: olive oil, not as a lubricant but as an internal protocol. The more he dug, the more the science aligned. Olive oil contains polyphenols and monounsaturated fats that function as natural vasodilators. These compounds don't just improve general cardiovascular health, they specifically enhance the endothelial function that controls blood vessel expansion and contraction. In other words, they train the body to maintain the vascular tone necessary for sustained erection. The mechanism is elegant in its simplicity. When a man ejaculates, his nervous system triggers a cascade of neurochemical changes designed to return the body to baseline. Blood vessels constrict, heart rate normalizes, and the penis naturally loses rigidity. This is biological programming that has served humanity for millennia. However, in men with compromised vascular function, whether from poor diet, sedentary lifestyle, or age-related decline, this return to baseline happens too aggressively. The vessels constrict completely, blood flow drops below the threshold needed for erection, and the man is left unable to continue. David continued his research deeper, diving into obscure medical journals and underground forums where men shared their real experiences. He realized that the olive oil approach was only scratching the surface. There was something more, a method that went beyond simple vasodilation, something that actually addressed the root cause at a cellular level. The more he uncovered, the more he understood that what he'd been reading about was incomplete. There was a protocol that men were using quietly, away from mainstream attention, that produced results so dramatic they seemed almost impossible. By week 6 of his initial attempts, David realized he was missing the critical piece. The olive oil helped, yes, but it wasn't the real solution. His wife noticed his frustration returning. He knew he was close to understanding something fundamental, but the answer remained just out of reach. That's when he discovered the actual method. The one that changes everything, the one that doesn't just improve vascular function, but fundamentally transforms male sexual capacity. David's journey of discovery led him to understand that the real solution is waiting for you in the video linked in the description. This isn't another supplement recommendation or another surface-level approach. This is the method that addresses what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know: what mainstream medicine ignores, and what thousands of men are already using to reclaim their sexual power completely. The frustration David felt, the same frustration you might be feeling right now, ends when you watch that video. Everything makes sense, the pieces fit together. Your body isn't broken, it's just been missing the one critical element that unlocks its full potential. Watch the video in the description right now to discover the method that actually works. This is the turning point. This is where your story changes. Subscribe to this channel and prepare yourself for content that goes beyond what you'll find anywhere else. The next videos will dive deeper into the science, the implementation, and the real-world results that men are experiencing. Your body is capable of extraordinary things. It's time to unlock that potential.